What's up and welcome to another video, guys. And I really wanted to get to this video as soon as possible because I want to start different series and post different series every other week. At least come out one every month. It depends on really what it is, and really get to recording through my own experiences to help everybody in different ways. And in this one, it's really about surviving layoff series. I have a personal experience going through this, and I kind of want to help people kind of navigate going through this. And the main reason what inspired me to really do this series in the first place is because I see people, when it comes to layoffs, talk about it in one of two ways. Either it's the news and people reacting to the layoffs and talking about what's going on and possibly what happens, which I do on my other channel, Dev Talks, which will also be linked in down below occasionally. And the other way is people going on TikTok or social media and either recording themselves getting laid off or crying about it. And there's never any personal outlooks. I don't see anybody ever really talking about it and how to navigate it properly, which there's probably people who have, but the most things that you tend to see that trend more is the actual people getting it experience and going right through it immediately, or people just talking about a generalization and they're not pointing to any particular person and whatsoever in that point. So in this video, as you can see from the title, it's going to be don't take it personally. And when I say don't take it personally, I'm not going to say you cannot feel whatever way you feel. You are completely entitled to be upset, scared, and worried from being laid off. Everybody's situation is different. Trust me, everybody's situation is going to differ. My experiences are different from people who experienced it in '08 to all these other newer people who are finding their ways in the workplaces, finding their ways in different jobs, finding their ways through every little thing that they have going on. The experiences are all going to be different on how it is them getting laid off. What's their support systems like? There are people who are married who have another spouse that can help them. There's people who can't do it even with living above their means and things like that. You're completely, I just want to emphasize, you are completely entitled to be upset, worried, and trying to figure out how you're going to deal with it. All right. That's the first thing I really want to emphasize to everybody. And at the end of the day, when time goes on, it's going to be all right. You're going to find yourself back into it. The reason why I say don't take it personally is because in most cases, and I want to say in like 95, just to be generous, it is not you. In most cases of a layoff, it is not you. And I'm going to give you some examples and things just because I've had time to really reflect, think, talk to people who do layoffs and the decisions that are made. And you kind of see the trends in going through it. Everybody, when you sit there and people are recorded, I hope you guys don't think your manager is excited to lay you off or there anything like that. Maybe somebody does. But and the only way that I see that it's potentially someone who personally got laid off due to it being them are people probably on PIPs. Anybody who's new to corporate America, a PIP is like a personal improvement plan, a performance improvement plan. That's what a PIP basically stands for. Some people get put on it when the people in their company or whoever thinks that they need to do more improvement to be able to keep their jobs, in a sense. That's my understanding of it. Other people are going to have their own justifications and what they think about it, but that that is just it for how it's going. Like, those people probably got targeted into, hey, you're gone. We're doing layoffs and we're already put you on a PIP. You're gone from this entirely. And it is unfortunate. Needless to say, it happened to you. It happens to you. Things happen, and we're specifically talking layoffs though. We're not talking about you being personally fired for any way on how you act or anything like that. This is strictly for layoffs and getting through it. But I'm gonna put this in a bunch of different ways for you guys. All right. First things first, I cover on my Dev Talks podcast channel and reacting on a lot of different stuff. A lot of tech companies. I've been doing it for years. I started after COVID, and I've been building up ever since every single month, I've been growing and growing and growing it and trying to be as consistent as possible. And one of the things I've learned, paying attention to these companies and how they move, especially technical companies. In COVID, if everybody does not know, because a lot of tech companies still worked, but they worked for remotely and they worked at home. And when they were doing this, when they were going about all of this and they were doing this, they overhired a lot because the demand of people using their services and everything skyrocketed. Everybody was home. You look at a lot of companies, especially Zoom. You look at the growth of all their companies, how much they were hiring, how much money they were giving out, and all of that. They overhired out the whoozah. It didn't even make sense. They were going crazy with the hiring scales, which led to a point in time when you actually started to go back to work. People were going back to work, and it kind of plateaued, and then now it's coming to the point to where they have all these people. They realize they don't need all these people. The demand has gone down some, and the work has plateaued to a sense that they don't need as many. So what happens? They either freeze hiring in certain aspects, or they begin laying off certain individuals. And how laying off typically works, and this goes beyond all different types of people. This can be full-time workers, union workers. I just covered a video on UPS on Dev Talks, on my Dev Talks channel as well too. And in that video, it's the union people, and they go back all the way they go back like 15 years or 10 years, something like that. That's how far back they went to be able to cut people in their operations plan, and they stop hiring, or they cut certain positions out entirely. Like they'll lay off somebody and then never rehire for that position again. And it's way easier to do something like that in management versus in IC roles, because they're still going to need individual contributors in certain aspects or shapes or forms. So one, like just there alone, that's a lot of unionized members, union employees, and one of the other reasons besides cost savings is because they no longer need the positions or roles based on where they are moving towards in the future. And this is part of the series that I want to go through. Is I'm going to go through certain scenarios as well too on why certain things happen and why they may not happen. Like I said, don't take this personally, because it's not an attack against you. It is an attack against, not even an attack. It is just a movement that the corporation is doing because they need to find a way to save costs, which seems kind of crazy to me because they pay out severances and they're spending a lot of money just to get rid of everybody in a sense, but then they keep it in a sense because if everybody doesn't know, people are companies' most expensive costs that take out of revenues and prices. You look at people, every single year, that person can be taking out 100K, that person can be taking out 50K. If you really look at these numbers, right? If anybody's ever looked at the salary numbers for layoffs, let's give UPS as an example. We're already talking about the ops members, right? We're already talking about the operations members, and every single one of them, let you just say they make about $50,000, and they laid off 30,000 people. So when you do that in the math, that's 1.5 billion in salaries alone. If you laid off 30,000 employees, this is why it's such a big thing. This is where acquisitions come into effect, a whole bunch of other things on how this is looked at. If you really look at it, people are the most expensive cost for companies. 30,000 of them, they're cutting, laying off with an average salary. If you give an average salary and say all of them made $50,000 a year, which some of them could make more, some of them can make less. Who knows? Maybe they try to get people to force into retirement. Hey, retire and be done. Who knows what the reasoning could be, the situation could be. But 1.5 billion. You know what they're going to do with that? It's going to be invested into the company on where they need to invest it to. It's going to be used to acquire another company, where they're going to bring in their own employees to ascend, and sometimes acquisitions get messy. And if you guys want a whole video on the whole acquisition portion, we can do that. I am more than willing to go down this series, and we can go down every single point of corporate America to you guys on how it works, how they're looking at stuff, and how they're going to build out their companies going further, and how it impacts you as employees and what to look for. And that, I just want to start real basic in the beginning. Next video, I might say, what do you first do? What should you first look to do? Well, and things like that. Who knows? It depends on what you guys would want in the comments and what you guys really want. And I will do my best to go out and do that video and put that video out either bi-weekly or once a month, depending on my other series and how things going, because I also have book reviews and things like that on this series, and there's other things that I'm really interested in that I want to do or talk about on this channel. Very much so. Like, you guys have no idea. I like have a lot of stuff planned, but it is literally not you. When they're choosing a number, since people are so expensive, the reason why the unionize people, they go back like 10 years or whatever, is to get rid of all the newer people in a sense. And you really think about it, people who have worked at the company for so long, they should be the most experienced. They may not be the best at the job. There could be new people who come in and who are not the best, and you might be better than somebody who's staying. It We understand that. I don't fully get it 100% on how it's done all the time. But then if they don't do it that way, then it's more personalized in attacking you, rather than it just being a number that they have to reach to be able to do what they have to do as a business and corporation. So you have to look at it on both sides of the spectrum. If you're one of those people who definitely believes that you're better working than Sally, Tim, or Buck, whatever their name is, then that's why I said if they kept you over them, then it would definitely be more personal attack. 2 layoffs. I think layoffs would actually be way more detrimental if that happened that way, versus we look at these people who have been here for 2 years, and we're just going to get rid of them in these certain pockets because we're consolidating these organizations, we're restructuring this, and we're more focused on this, right? Like, stick with me. If anybody's losing me right here, I tend to jump around and really ramble a lot and get through all this information, but I want everybody to be clear on why things may happen in particular. But yes, and in other videos, I will go through specific things for particular departments on what you're looking for and how to point out signs at your company, especially in this new age of technology and AI. I have like 10 of these videos already ready to go out for you guys. But in all seriousness, it is not you in any way, shape, or form. I have spoken to CEOs. They do not go out and look at a particular person. They have a board that they have to answer to, especially if it's especially if it's a public company. Some private companies still have boards that they have to answer to as well. If needless to say, if you did not know that, it is a true thing. And some of those private companies, especially ones owned by equity firms, they're looking to become public again in the future on their own. So, like I said, just don't take it personally. You're entitled to be upset. You're entitled to feel however you feel. It is a disheartening thing to be impacted by it. I know how it feels. I know plenty of other people know how it feels. It's like you're losing your whole livelihood. But there are ways that we're going to go through. We're going to work together for everybody to get together and find ways that we're all successful and what to look for, especially in this landscape and society and economically as things change. All right. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate you guys so much. Also, check out my other podcast channel. I talk about a lot of technical stuff, engineering stuff, and all different things that react to that kind of world and react to that. So that will be in the description down below. I really appreciate y'all. Let me know what you guys think if you want this to continue. And peace. See y'all next time.